have just moved from your home to another country. I mean, you have moved from Kenya to Doha, Qatar. These are the challenges that we have found mostly as Kenyans hard to adjust to. These are the differences between here and home. We're going to look at in terms of food. It's so hard for us to adjust to the food that we are getting here in Qatar in terms of taste. As mostly in Kenya, we are used to food that we get directly from the farm. But here in Qatar, you have to get every food from the supermarket. You have to get to understand that you have to eat rice as everyday meal. You have to understand that chicken here is a staple food. This is the food that you're going to face every day, until you are like, am I really going to adjust to this food? But with time, we get used to it. That is one challenge that Kenyans do face here in Qatar when it comes to adjusting from home to this place. The other thing is the dress code. Like here in Qatar, most of the people use the habaya. When I mean the habaya, they use that long black dress covered, and they also tie something on their face or under the head. This is something that Kenyans find difficult to adjust to. Why? We are used to dressing freely in the country we come from, but because of work, because that you know what got you here, you got used to it. That is another challenge that we find hard to adjust to. The other thing that Kenyans find so hard to adjust to is language. The language barrier that is here, wow, it's so wide. It's so wide such that you will meet a Nepali, you're going to meet a Bangladeshian, you're going to meet people from different countries. Trust you me, not everybody here in Qatar is speaking English. Actually, English is so difficult here. As Kenyans, most of us, we are used to speaking this language back at home. It's not hard for us. And even if it's not so hard, it's not so easy, we get to understand to speak it. Here you will find people speaking what they know. They will speak to you the language they understand. The funny thing is that they expect you that you have to listen and respond as they have told you. So this is also another challenge that we find difficult to adjust to language. Communication is so important. You want to tell somebody, oh please, can you assist me in this? You don't know where you start because English, they don't get it. Any other language, you don't know also. So this is quite a challenge for us Kenyans when we are here in Qatar and we find people who don't understand any other language apart from their home language. The other thing that we find them difficult is the expenses. If you have a partner here in Qatar, where dating in Qatar is not easy. It's not like dating from home. When you want to see your partner here in Qatar, know that you have got to get something in your pocket. You don't just go and call your guy, oh come we have a nature walk. There is no nature walks here in Qatar. It's either you are inside or you are working or you are in your accommodation sleeping. This is quite challenging because back at home, it's so easy to meet somebody. It's so easy to go somewhere with someone just to take a nature walk around. But here it's so difficult. The other thing on top of this is that Qatar is based on separation, female this side and male this side. This is another challenge that we find because as from home, we are used to like, we are mixed. There is no this place for men and the other for ladies. So this is another challenge that we have found so hard to adjust to. But in one way or the other, we still manage to live by them. The other thing that is, this one actually is the most challenging one. Weather. The weather here is on another level. When it's hot in Qatar, it's not just hot, it's super hot. Such that within 3 seconds when you are outside, it's ready for you to sweat. You will sweat. You cannot just walk from here just to a near shop to go and buy something when it's hot in Qatar. When it's cold, my people, it's super cold. Like when I mean super cold, you cannot go outside without a jacket. Otherwise, the cold that you're going to catch within your body, it's going to be a difficult case for you. So this is another challenge that we face or we get hard to adjust to here in Qatar in terms of weather, especially the summer part. The summer part is another case, especially to someone who just is new here in Qatar. Most of the people are the ones that don't survive. They prefer to go back home because of these weather conditions. But with time, as you get used to the weather, you just adjust and you're like, it's summer, it's winter, let's go with it. You just flow with the weather. The church life for us, it's so difficult. Since I can remember the last time I went to church here in Qatar, I think it is once per year. This is another challenge. Religion, as a Christian and you're coming from home, it's not easy for you to get time to go to church, and you want to go to church. The churches are far. They are churches, yes, here in Qatar, but they are far. You have to organize how you're going to get transport to that place and come back. And it's also so hard because here in Qatar, we are always occupied with working duty times. You're working for 12 hours, you need to come back and sleep. You don't have that time to go to church. And then it varies with different shifts. Like here in Qatar, it's challenging because you work at any time, not just the time that you plan. You know, like at home, most of us, we go to daytime duty, and then at night time is when we are sleeping. And on Sundays, we are not working. Unfortunately, welcome to this land where you work every time, any place, anytime. Like what I'm trying to mean, you can be on duty at night, or you can also be on duty during the day. So you cannot be able to plan in between when you can organize how to go to church. It's so difficult. This is for mostly Christians. It's so hard for us to adjust to these changes, because back at home on Sunday, you know, this is my day and I'm going to dress up to go to church and to get to go to have a good time with God there. So this is another challenge for most of us here as Kenyans who are Christians that we are facing. The other thing is, like here in Qatar, what I found so hard to adjust to, especially me, is the snobbing of greetings. Wait a minute. Here, you don't just say hi and someone responds. No. It's not like home when you tend to say mambo, poa sasa fiti uko aje niko fiti, like just like that. Sasa poa. Like here you'll say hello and then they're like whew, whew. Everybody is on their loops moving. Like greetings here are snobbed. They are snobbed, trust you me. So this is a thing that is so difficult to get used to, because you are like, mbona mnisalimiki? Why? What have I done? These are the questions that will pop into your mind directly. But when you get to know it is a thing that goes on here, it won't be challenging anymore. You are just like, also you just pass your ways. And this is what is happening here. Most of the things are these ones. And also the difficult thing that you have to get to know, it's not easy, but you're going to adjust to, is sharing rooms. You're just coming from your home, but here in Qatar, you're getting a job. You're not going to stay alone in the room. No, it's not easy, not unless you are as a freelancer. But as far as you are a regular under a certain company sponsored visa, this is what I mean. In the sponsored jobs, you're going to share accommodation. You're going to have roommates. This is not so easy for most of the people, because especially for our men from Kenya, they are used to having that house outside their mother's compound. And as ladies, we used to have maybe a certain room in our mother's house. And here you go to share space. Like you have to get to share space. It's not easy, but these are the most of the challenging things that we are facing as Kenyans here in Qatar. But all in all, it's not a discouragement, it is an encouragement that you should just get ready to come and get used to these things, because they are challenging, but you need the job, you need the money, so you got to stay with them. It's not forever, it's up to the time that you have planned to be here in Doha, Qatar. This is what we had to share with you today. Until next time, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the Happy Lydia channel. Ciao.